Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I've pretty much been MIA from YouTube and I really apologize. I don't know, life has been insane and I just haven't really felt like it, to be honest. I don't know. I'm kind of, I think, in a rut right now. But anyways, I am pushing myself to do another update. So I actually have 2 updates now that I have to post. I think the last update that I did was like maybe 4 or 5 weeks pregnant. So I have like what do I have? I think I have like an 8-week pregnancy update that I need to post, a 12-week pregnancy update, and then I did a 15-week pregnancy update. So I'm like randomly doing it. And for a while I was like, oh, I'll do it every 4 weeks, which kind of seems like the pattern that I'm on. But anyways, I am, what is today? Monday, the 11th. So today's Veterans Day, the 11th of November. So I will be officially, as of Wednesday of this week, 19 weeks pregnant. So we are almost halfway through, which is so crazy to me. There hasn't really been too much to update. I know I wasn't going to, and I had a couple of questions, a couple of comments of people asking. We did actually find out the gender of the baby. I will post a gender reveal because we actually ended up having a big Halloween party on October 26th. And I don't know, one day I was literally just sitting in the school drop-off line with my kids and I was like, you know what? I think it was like a week out before the appointment. No, it was like 10 days before the party, not the appointment. And I was like, you know what? I think I might just find out. And the reason, or I don't know if I ever updated about this, but so since I had my twins, apparently they do this for all the pregnancies now, but you can do genetic testing. And typically in the past, they only offered this type of genetic testing to people that were either over age 35 that were considered like advanced maternal age, or if you've had like a known genetic condition with a child, a previous child, or you have somebody in your family that has a genetic condition, it would be covered. So we don't have any of those things. So I was just a little bit hesitant to go through with the blood work because I was like, is it really necessary? But so basically what happened, you get the blood work. The way that the process is, it's kind of weird. They draw the blood anyways, and then there's 2 different types of tests, at least in my area, the ones that they did. So there's one that's called a foresight carrier screen, which is basically if the mom is a carrier for any type of genetic condition. And if I were a carrier, then my husband would have to go ahead and get his blood drawn, and they would find out if he was a carrier for anything like cystic fibrosis or I'm trying to think of the big ones that they tested for. It was like cystic fibrosis, Turner syndrome, Fragile X syndrome. They were like connective tissue disorders, things like that. So I did end up going forward with that foresight carrier screen only because when I heard from this lab, they said that it wasn't going to cost anything for us to have this done. So I was like, you know what, if it's free, I might as well just have it done. I already had the blood drawn. So that thankfully all came back normal. But then there's another test called the prenatal prequel. Yeah, the prequel prenatal screening. And basically this actually tests the baby. So there's one for mom and there's one for baby. So I originally had the one for mom. Everything came back normal, which I was super thankful for. And then, like I said, I actually got a call from, not a call, I got an email from this lab and they were like, look, we ran this through your insurance, or I don't know how they determined this because I'll get into it, but they were like, it's probably going to be about $600 for you to have this test done. And I was like, you know what? I don't need to spend an extra $600 to just, I don't know. I just didn't feel like it was necessary. We, knock on wood, hadn't had a child with a genetic abnormality, and I mean, all of my pregnancies have been healthy, so I just didn't really, at the time, find it in my heart that it was necessary. So I got that blood drawn at the beginning of the end of September, like September 29th-ish, I want to say I went in and had that drawn. So I ended up canceling the prequel prenatal screen. I was like, no, we're not going to go through with that. You can just cancel it. But the guy on the phone when I was speaking said, just so you know, we do hold this blood sample for 30 days and we will you can always call us back and decide to reactivate the sample, and we can process it within 30 days. So that was September 29th. So fast forward, we had our Halloween party on October 26th, which was a Saturday. And I don't know, the more I thought about it, my mother and father-in-law flew in from Florida they flew in on a Friday. We had our party on a Saturday, and they left on an airplane on Sunday. So I'm just so thankful and so flattered that they do this. This is the second annual Halloween party that we've had. We kind of took a break for a couple of years just because it's a lot of effort, it's a lot of money, and it's like a big party. Like there's usually about 100 people that come. So it's like a big party. Lots of food, lots of decorations, just a lot that goes into it. And then trying to like plan that on top of being pregnant and just like having my 4 kids that I need to take care of all the time. It was a lot. But as the party came closer, it was like 10 days out, I was like, you know what? It would be really, really awesome if we did end up doing a gender reveal at the Halloween party. And I like scoured Pinterest, and I was trying to find something exciting that was like Halloween themed for the gender reveal. And I just I don't know, nothing was really, I didn't want to carve pumpkins because honestly, I didn't have time. My husband was away the whole entire week before our party. He got back the day before our party. So it was like, thank God for my mom. She was up here and she helped me with the kids, and she let me kind of like do last minute errands without them. So it was nice. And my parents are just amazing. But yeah, I made the decision to call the lab, and I was like, I want you to reactivate my sample, please. And whatever, I'll just pay the money. Amazingly, I actually don't owe anything. So I don't know. Basically, this lab had to contact my insurance, and they have to get what's called a pre-authorization or a prior authorization, and it was approved, which is so exciting because I really didn't feel like there was no diagnosis to cover it. I didn't feel like that, but regardless, I am super thankful. I did not have to pay a cent, at least so far, and it's already like November, but I didn't have to pay a cent for either test that I had done, and we did find out the gender of our baby. And at the party, we actually ended up revealing it just kind of traditionally. It was just such a crazy day anyways that I decided to kind of just keep it simple. So we got a big balloon, just a big balloon that said he or she, what will it be, or something like that. And then we ended up getting our boy's silly string, and I was so nervous that the boys were gonna spray the silly string. Hold on one second. Okay, sorry about that. First of all, I apologize if you can hear that. My washing machine bearings are going, so that's super annoying to have to hear all the time. And I know it's my fault because I overload my washing machine because I have so much freaking laundry to do all the time. But thankfully, my husband researched and he can fix it. He just wasn't too happy about it. So that's on the list of things to do. So where did I leave off? I was so nervous about the boys with their silly string because I thought that they were gonna shoot it off before we popped the balloon. But it actually all turned out great. Hold on, I'm being called again. I keep forgetting where I'm leaving off because now I just had to get one of my kids' food. The other one came in saying that somebody was holding a dead butterfly. But anyways, I don't want to give too much information away, but we did find out the gender. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you should because it's already there. But by the time this goes up, obviously, you're going to know the gender because I am going to try and... You know what, I might post this one and then post the gender. But it's going to be like a super short clip because I didn't film it all the day of the party. I was running around like a mad woman. But it was just super, super, super special to find out what we were having in front of like all of our family and friends. And we've never done a gender reveal with any of our children. So it was just exciting to have a gender reveal. And it was like such a surprise for everybody because everyone thought that we were waiting until the baby was born. So it's crazy. And like I said, I don't want to talk too much about it because I know if I do, I'm going to end up giving away the gender, and I don't want to do that if you don't know yet. So yeah, like I said, we did do a balloon. Don't be like weirded out because I have a scarecrow costume on. My husband's dressed like a scuba diver, and then my kids all look like a hot mess because they were garbage men for Halloween. So we just did like a super easy, I'll insert a picture right now of them actually all in their costumes. Okay, sorry about that. I just had to make my second batch of chicken nuggets for my second child that came in. So I'm just waiting for the other two to come in and interrupt and say, I'm hungry. What's up?
Come over here.
No, it's quiet over here. Sorry, I have a child.
Come over here and look at
No, you go eat.
No. My chicken's all milk. All covered in milk.
Why is your chicken covered in milk?
Because that's because when I'm trying to eat it, it's the plate have milk all over it. Come see.
So I'm pretty sure that he just intentionally poured his milk on his plate of chicken nuggets because he didn't want to eat the last one. But anyways, I got to get through this. I got to finish this update. So what else? I have my anatomy scan this Friday the 15th, and that is going to be, so I actually had it booked for November 25th, which is the day before my birthday, but the last appointment I went to on November 1st, my doctor or the nurse practitioner that I saw was like, you know what, I actually want you to have it sooner because I think you're going to be too far along. It would have been almost 21 weeks, and I guess they like to have the anatomy scan done by like 18 to 20. So now I'm having it done at week 19, which she was much more comfortable with, and me too, because if there is anything going on with the baby, then we will at least know and could do something sooner. Not something like correct things or whatever we could do. So I'm excited about that. And other than that, it's my second trimester. I've been feeling so much better. In terms of food, I still am not like super craving meat, which kind of stinks because meat is what actually like doesn't make me crave all the junk. I have been eating terrible, and I will be the first one to admit that. I stepped on the scale yesterday just to see, and I weighed like 148. So I've gained just like 9 pounds. So I don't know. I honestly thought that I would have gained more at this point because I'm just counting my first weigh-in at the doctor as my like starting point, 139. And yeah, like I said, I was 148 when I stepped on the scale yesterday, just at home. And yeah, my last appointment, I was 146. So I don't really trust the 148 because I did have Mexican food the night before, which was like super high in sodium. So I'm still probably going to go with like 146, 147 is where I'm sitting. I haven't been super consistent with the gym. I actually went to the gym today for the first time in like weeks. And I'm going to really try and start to get back into a routine, but it's just so hard to get up super early because it's like with the way that our schedule is, I can go on Monday and Friday, but I have to be back before 9, which is fine. That's not a problem. But then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, when my twins have preschool, I have to be like back home by 8 so that I can drive them to school. But then that puts my husband in a spot where he has to get everybody ready by himself, and then he has to work. So I just feel guilty, but I know I have to take care of myself and I have to take care of the baby. So unfortunately, there are just some sacrifices. And going at night, it's just one of those things where it's almost like out of the question because I'm so tired at night just from everything during the day that I just don't have the energy to do it. So if I don't do it in the morning, I'm not going to do it at all. And I've just, with leftover party food and Halloween candy, I've just been a cyclone garbage disposal, and I can't treat my body like that because I'm growing a precious baby in there. But yeah, I think other than that, that's really it. I mean, I've been kind of hormonal and like emotional, which is just normal for pregnancy. Like I said, food has been horrible, but I haven't really been wanting meat, so I've been eating a lot of carbs, which is terrible. Trying to get better about that. And yeah, other than that, I'm just kind of, I feel like I'm at the good point in my pregnancy where I can kind of like enjoy everything. So let me just do a quick bump shot. And if you guys have any questions or if there's anything that I didn't address, please leave them in the comments down below and I will definitely get back to you. Again, I apologize that I have been so behind in my updates. I will get the gender reveal up. I will get my 8-week pregnancy update, my 12-week pregnancy update, my 15-week pregnancy update, and this one up. So I have a lot of videos to edit and get up. And yeah, stay tuned for that gender reveal. If you don't follow me on Instagram, please do. It is Jodi, Jodi on point. I'll post it somewhere on the screen. So yeah, just search Jodi on point and you should be able to find me. And yeah, that is it. Let me show you my bump. So this is my, this is my 18-week bump. Almost 19. Yeah, bud.
Can I come in now?
Sure.
Thank you.
So yeah, that is my 18-week bump. About to have a little boy in the screen. You want to say hi?
Hi. How big are you? You're getting a lot big. So big.
Yeah.
Like, how big is your belly?
So big.
How many pounds is it about? 21 miles?
24 miles? That's not even a measurement of weight.
Mama, is it 24? Is it 21 meters pregnant?
21 meters pregnant. No, I'm 18 weeks pregnant and I have gained about 9 pounds.
Oh.
Yes. So yes, there was something else that I just wanted to say before he distracted me saying I was 21 meters pregnant. Whatever that means. What the heck was it? I'll be right back. I know I'll remember it. I've remembered a few other things. So obviously, knowing the gender now, we kind of have a name. I don't know. I flip-flop on it every day, but I think it's a beautiful name. It's just that I am not 100% set on it. So for the longest time, our problem was that I had set on the first name and then the middle name, I was kind of like, I don't know. But the first name I feel like is a hard name to come up with a middle name for. And that is something that we probably will not reveal until the birth. Because that's just something that we want to keep to ourselves. Because I just don't want other people to sway me. Obviously, if I'm not like super 100% like that's going to be the name, then I don't want other people to sway me and be like, oh, that's a terrible name, or oh, because truth be told, people are crying. This is my life. What happened?
Please get me in the
In terms of the belly, so I've noticed that now with winter, and my stomach's definitely obviously getting bigger, I have been feeling like a little bit of itchiness just because of the stretching and then like the dry skin and stuff. So that's been fun. I've been just using regular lotion right now. Fortunately, I'm hoping I don't end up with stretch marks because I didn't get any with the twins, but what are you doing?
I'm trying. So outside, we have a bouncy house.
Yeah.
Everyone, like the kids are jumping in the bouncy house. Only one.
Okay.
It's Logan.
With that, I'm going to go. But like I said, if you do have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. And I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye. All right, guys, so I was just editing and trying to upload my 8-week pregnancy update, and while I was doing that, it made me think of all the things that I did not address in this video. Clearly, the pregnancy brain is already pretty strong. So I forgot to address like any of my doctor visits. Good job, Jodi. So I had a doctor's appointment on October 1st, and I had a doctor's appointment on November 1st, and they were pretty uneventful. The one on October 1st, they basically, I don't even know how many weeks I was. I do remember going in and God, how many appointments have I had since the last time? So August 20th was my first appointment. Then I had one September 5th. And at that appointment, I remember I think I updated and I was like 9 weeks or something around there. And I was just so early that my doctor was like, to be honest, I don't want to stress you out. We probably won't be able to hear baby on the Doppler yet. So I'll be right back. I want to go check something. So she went to check apparently if the ultrasound machine was all set. So she did actually take me in super quick. I got a super, super fast little shot of the baby, and the baby was bigger. At that point, it looked like a little gummy bear, and I could see the flickering of the little heartbeat, so it was reassuring for me. But everything felt so like rushed that it was enough for me to be like, okay, I feel better. Then I had another appointment October 1st, and at that appointment, I went in and I had the typical, they take your blood pressure, you urinate in a cup just to make sure you don't have any sugar or any glucose or any protein in your urine, just checking for any type of like diabetes or preeclampsia, things like that. So I did not have high blood pressure, which was great. I haven't had an issue, knock on wood, with my blood pressure through any of my pregnancies, even with the twins. So I'm hoping that stays the same. And I did hear the heartbeat on the Doppler at my 12-week appointment, I believe that was. But it was still super faint, and it was kind of like, I was a little bit bummed that it was still so faint, but you like forget. And I don't know if my perceptions are just skewed because the last time having twins, they monitored them so much and so closely that I just like forgot how little you really like see and hear the baby until you're like obviously bigger and further along. So that was the October 1st appointment. November 1st obviously was only 10 days ago, so I'm much more fresh on that appointment. But I went in, and obviously at that point I had already known the gender. And then we just, again, I did a urine sample. They weighed me. I was 146, so I had gained 7 pounds. So that was good. I was 18 weeks and I had gained 7 pounds. So I feel like I'm on track for my weight gain, but I just feel, knowing what I've eaten, I feel terrible because I've just been fueling my body with garbage, and that makes me feel so guilty. But I've been really consistent with like my prenatal vitamins. The one thing that I have been doing, which I wasn't so great at the beginning, but I have been awesome with my water. Let me actually show you one thing that I did get that has been helping significantly, and I recommend this for pretty much anybody, just daily life. But if you're pregnant and you really need to get your fluids in, buy one of these. Hold on. Okay, so I got this at Target, and I actually got this, I had seen it in Target, and then I actually saw Felicia Keithley talk about it on her Instagram channel, or Instagram, and she's also pregnant. She's probably like at least 8 weeks in front of me, I think. But definitely get yourself one of these. It's just awesome to get your water intake in. It's so important. This is 40 ounces, and it is like solid. It fits in a normal, for the most part, fits in a normal cup holder, and it's insulated, so everything stays super cold. I literally had this ice in since last night, and I just refilled it. I went to the gym today, this morning, and I've been just drinking that and refilling it, and it's awesome because my kids just drink out of it too. So it's nice because I always have water with me, so if I get thirsty or the kids get thirsty, it's right there. So yeah, that's the one thing that I'm happy about that I have. Where was I going with that though? The weigh-in, gaining like 7 pounds so far. I think I'm okay, but I just know that I've, like I said, been fueling my body with garbage because I don't really want to eat protein. Like, I will eat protein in the form of like yogurt and cheese, but I just don't really want meat, and I wish I did, and it still hasn't changed, and I'm well into my second trimester, so that's annoying. But I'm definitely making more of an effort to get my butt to the gym, which I think will make me eat better, or at least make me focus more on what I'm eating instead of just literally treating myself like a garbage disposal. But at that November 1st appointment, we scheduled like a bunch of other appointments. As I had told you earlier, we ended up, at my doctor's request, moving my anatomy scan, 8 days? Wait a minute, so it's 11 days. She wanted me to move it 11 days back, or sooner, because she was just like, you're gonna be too far along. I want you to have it soon. So like I said, that's coming up this Friday. I'm super excited to see the baby and like really see the baby. And this is usually like an hour ultrasound where they have to scan all the baby's bones and measurements and make sure the skull is on point for where it's supposed to be measuring. So yeah, and I think I've done a pretty good job of not mentioning like gender or any pronouns that I shouldn't be. I think I've been really good, but obviously if I slip up, I'm gonna have to bleep it out, or I'm just gonna have to do something. And the only other thing, I did hear the heartbeat, and it was so strong at my last appointment, and it was just so wonderful to hear. It was 155, I believe, was the heart rate, and it was just like that whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Like you really heard it, and it was exciting, and that kind of made everything real for me. Not that it hasn't been real, but just like hearing the baby, and then I think the ultrasound on Friday, the really seeing the baby like look like a baby on an ultrasound image is just gonna really solidify everything for me. So the only other thing I forgot to mention is my boobs. So my boobs have grown, I feel like, so much. I have a sports bra on right now because obviously I went to the gym this morning, but like that is one thing. When I was on the elliptical this morning, I feel like my boobs wanted to smack me in the face. And that sounds so ridiculous, but like I'm usually a solid B. Like I don't really have large breasts. I have like kind of a wider back. So I've always had like a 36, which is like a wider back for a woman, and that's just my genetics. That's just the way that I am made up, and my breasts are usually not that big. But this pregnancy, for some reason, I feel like my boobs have just been so big, and they're just like, they're so heavy, and it bothers me. But yeah, that's just another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. I think other than that, I have recapped everything. The one thing that I am also interested in during this ultrasound, I know I had talked about it, I just remember mentioning it in my 6 to 8 week update, or yeah, 6, 7, 8 week update. At my first ultrasound, when I was like 6 weeks pregnant, they saw a small subchorionic hemorrhage. And usually that does, basically your body just reabsorbs that pocket of blood, and it's not usually a big deal, but if it's big, it can actually cause miscarriage because the pocket of blood can actually, it forms when just like a little bit of the placenta can attach from the uterine wall, and then like a pocket of blood forms there. So it's basically like an injury, but your body will reabsorb and like heal itself. So I'm hoping that that's all set. I've not had literally one stitch of bleeding this entire pregnancy, again, knock on wood. So just hoping that everything else goes smoothly. But that is it. I feel like I had so much to update you guys on. I'm so sorry that this video is going to be so long. I know there's going to be a ton of stuff I have to cut out. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you do have a question that I didn't answer, please leave your questions in the comments down below, and I will do my best to get back to you quickly. And I'm gonna really try and hammer out these videos now, because now that it's getting colder, we're actually inside more. The kids are actually watching the Magic School Bus right now. My twins are napping right over there. And yeah, so I'm hoping that with more inside time, I will be actually able to sit down and get these videos up, but it is harder to film because everybody's inside and they're loud, and they're amazingly not being loud right now. They were actually more annoying and louder out when they were outside because they kept coming back inside. But anyways, if you do like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, leave a comment, question, anything you want, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.